Motor Speedway. They're lean, they're mean, they're 5 to 7 horses, a man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. The Coast2Coast Racing League 350A Modifieds, Pro Late Models, and the 360 Sprint Cars.
We are live on the Coast2Coast Racing Network for a little 360 sprint car action here at Volusia Speedway, brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies, the proud sponsor of Hometown Heroes this year. Really appreciate the guys at Flatline Racing Bodies for stepping up and helping out like they've done so often here in the Coast2Coast Racing League. We really appreciate you guys, and well, we wouldn't be able to put on these fine broadcasts without your ears. It's going to be race number 1 of 2. You know the deal here, Hometown Heroes. We run the 360s first, followed by the 410s. And Brian Moore Sr. currently leading the points right now by 29 over Randy Shreves. Blake Chapman with 600 there and a close third. As we're coming into race number 11 here. Can't remember if I said that or not. Sorry if I repeated that. But what that means is, we're running out of time here. So if you're Jeff Barker in 4th at 596, you're still in the hunt. You're only 34 points back from the lead. You need to string together some podium finishes here in the closing races, and you never know what might come your way as the checkered flag waves on the warm-up session, and Donovan Ross sits at the top of the charts here when we come to a close, and we'll get ready to roll into qualifying for tonight's 360s here at Volusia Speedway. Let's see who we get out on the track first here. Looks like it is going to be Devo in that 05. So let's watch Donovan Ross here, lap number 1. So he rolls out of 3 and 4, going to take that high side, really, carry as much momentum here to the first lap as he can in that 05. Runs the middle off line 2. A lot of tack there. Going to swing it in deep in 3 and 4, floats that thing up next to the wall, and Devo puts that thing as on quick time for now, but a lot of guys left to go at a 13:62. With the General Andy Patton in the 87 machine, he takes quick time. Can he hold on as the General rolls through 3 and 4, looks to improve? He's going to have to stick with lap number 1 as Steven Spees in the 55 moves on up to P3, but the Dark Knight, Gavin Chatham, takes the quick time in the 99 machine. Blake Chapman coming around on lap number 2 as well. Him and Gavin will end about the same time, but as you see on the bottom, they're both slower. So Gavin going to stick with his first lap, and that may be good enough. The Brewerton Beast brings it home 6th. Devo P3. Superman, he's still sitting out there, but he's done. He's going to be P13. And, well, the only guy yet to put a time down, and sometimes he likes to not qualify, is that man in the 39, the high side banger, Patrick Spangley. So, not too sure what the freshly minted dad here is going to do this evening, but he's going to... The decision's made for him now as we run out of time, and we're going to roll into heat race number 1. Starting on the pole in the 70 machine, Mike Cramner. And to his outside in the 558, your current point leader, Brian Moore Sr. Inside of row number 2. Calling my long-lost cousin in that 20 machine, the salesman, Blake Chapman. His outside, you got the 99, the quick time setter, Gavin Chatham. Inside of row number 3, rounding out the field, Kurt Schatzer in the 218, and to his outside in the 4, Greg Parman. As SDK misbehaving here, got a bunch of guys on there. We're going to try to refresh this thing. If that doesn't behave, well, there we go. So we'll have to refresh it another way, but really looking like that's going to work this time. I'm going to have to do some digging too. I'm not sure if it's a file that I have wrong from Marty, if I need to get something. These league numbers not showing up for me. That only happens here in the Coast to Coast. So I think I'm running off a Marty file, not an SDK file. I'll have to talk to him, but as the green flag is high, it's ready to fly. Heat race number 1 underway. 6 laps to go play here. Whoever wins this race is going to start on the pole, and they got 3 wide right away. Brian Moore Sr. getting aggressive. Sticks it in the middle with all that drive off he has, and he takes over the lead. Meanwhile, Blake Chapman and Mike Cramner battle hard for P2. Mike going to slide up into the cookies, opens the door for the 99. Gavin Chatham takes over P3, and just like that, Mike Cramner finds himself back in P4 as the battle heating up for second here. Gavin Chatham hooking it up down low. Blake Chapman trying to find some grip up there behind the 515. Looks like you want to be down low in 3 and 4. That's what we see going here. Blake stuck on that top shelf, able to make it work. Gavin going to fall in line. Everybody wants the grip to stop. Oh, Mike Cramner goes around there in the 70. That moves Kurt Schatzer up to P4. As we have 2 more laps to go, can Blake Chapman find a way around Brian Moore Sr.? And can the 99 maybe find a way around Blake? They're running out of time as they roll through 3 and 4. Brian slips up a little bit. Blake's got a lift. Opens the door down low. He's going to send it in deep. Brian crosses back under. This is the white flag final. Time through 3 and 4. What's going to happen? Blake Chapman upstairs. He holds on to P2. Brian Moore wins the race here. Your current point leader going to start on the pole here to this evening for tonight's feature. Gavin Chatham third, Kurt Schatzer fourth, Greg Parmalee fifth, and Mike Cramner brings it home in P6. As it's going to take a little bit here to end this one. I don't think iRacing, liked Mike Cramner probably not crossing the start-finish line at the end. Normally can throw a little bit of a wrench into things, but as you see, it advanced, no harm, no foul. We get ready to take a look at the starting grid for heat race number 2. Starting on the pole in the 79, Dean Reynolds, into his outside in the 56, Randy Shreves. Inside of row number 2 in the double 5, Steven Spees, into his outside, the General, Andy Patton. Rounding out the field in row number 3, the 7 of Bob DeGood, and the 39 of the high side banger Patrick Spangler, but he is not going to make the call here. Oh, yeah, he is. Okay, he was just putting around here. There is that thing. All's right with Mr. Spangler. You saw Dino, he gave us that wheelie on the front stretch. I didn't want to stop talking, but definitely did notice it and definitely do appreciate a good wheelie. And, well, Dino knows how to promote. I say it all the time. As the green flag is high, she's ready to fly. 6 laps to play in the clay of Volusia Speedway, and we're underway. Oh, Dino sends it right up in front of that 56. He gets into the outside wall. The double nickel is Steven Spees. Moves his way on up, third to first here in the opening lap. Not able to slide up in front of the 79, though. So Dino, actually, he comes back. He takes back over the lead. Stevens trying to slide upstairs to hold on to P2, trying to get in the tracks there of the 79. But the 56 goes up and around. They make a little contact. Steven hangs on to it. He's able to move up in front of the 39. Dean Reynolds trying to pull way out front in that purple 79. But Randy Shreves trying to reel him in here, but he's running out of time as we're halfway home. 3 laps to go in race number 2. And the 56 make a move here. He's creeping in on the tail tank. Doesn't get the run off the 4 he'd like, but with 2 to go, he's right there. One mistake from the 79. And the 56 has a chance to capitalize. Throws that slider line in 3 and 4, trying to protect, loses the rear end a little bit as the white flag in the air. Final time around this racetrack in heat race number 2. Can Randy Shreves throw a haymaker through 3 and 4? He's looking low as we come to the line. Dino takes heat race number 2, followed by Randy Shreves, Andy Patton, Steven Spees, Bob DeGood, and Patrick Spangler. As Dino takes heat race number 2, and we'll start on the outside of the front row for tonight's feature as we go into the 3rd and final heat race of the night here in the 360s at Volusia. Starting on the pole, Brad Wade in the 814, and his outside in the 75, the mayor, Steve Bixler. Inside of row number 2 in the 513, the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker, and to his outside in the 5, Devo Donovan Ross. Rounding out the field all by himself there in row number 3. He's going to see if he can't run down his dad in that 75 machine up there on the high side. We've got that 789. This should be a good one here. You got to keep your eye on row number 2 for sure. Keep your eye on the mare on the outside, and Brad Waite, he knows how to win. So this is going to be tough for Kale to move on up, but he's got to find a way. As heat race number 3, that green flag high, she's ready to fly. Let's go play 6 laps to get it done. Brad Brad Waite with a big send there in 1 and 2. Meanwhile, Cale Bixler gets in the wall in 1 and 2, and that may be all she wrote. He's going to need a mistake from one of these guys up front to be able to run them down. 1.7 seconds back on the lead. Evo trying to look downstairs on the mare. Not able to get that grip. He goes back upstairs. While the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker, tries to make it work. He runs the basement 1 and 2, floats up, tries to find some moisture. They're side by side as they enter turn 3. Jeff loses the rear end a little bit there in the middle of the corner, and Devo pulls back even. But they're side by side at the line, and the Brewerton Beast making the low line work here early of Volusia. Coming to 2 to go, this time out of 4. 2 fingers in the air. Can Devo find a way back around the Brewerton Beast? Can Steve Bixler find a way around that 8-14? Or are we all set here at Volusia? Devo's getting hungry down there on the bottom as the white flag flies. One more trip around. Jeff looking low in 1 and 2, but meanwhile, Bradley with the lead entering into 3 and 4. He sees that checkered flag, and he's going to win heat race number 3, followed by Steve Bixler, Jeff Barker, Donovan Ross, and Cale Bixler. Good race there in heat race number 2, and we're going to take a quick break here on the Coast2Coast Racing Network, and we'll be right back after a few words. We're back live on the Coast2Coast Racing Network. A little over half a minute to go here and left in warm-ups. Devo at the top of the chart. Gavin Chatham, P2. Blake third there. Randy Shrees fourth. And Brad Waite fifth. Well, the numbers decided to magically show. And I'm telling you, I didn't do a GD thing. So I have no idea what fixed that. But thank you to whatever did that. Or whoever, higher power, fix the numbers. It's going to make it a lot easier for you. And I don't look like a dummy. Now, when I say the 20 car, I'm saying this watch will probably be featured. Disappear. That'll be my luck. But Devo stays atop that chart. And we'll see what that time means if it carries over for the 99 here into the feature, or if that's just a showing guys what's possible out there number. As we take a look here, and well, the numbers are gone now. Okay, this is kind of what I was worried about. That's exactly what I said. Oh, unbelievable if they're only going to work for me in one session. That's hilarious. But let's take a look here at the RSN Trackside starting lineup here. Starting on the pole in the 558, we've got Brian Moore Sr. into his outside in the 79. Dean Reynolds. Inside of row number 2, the 814 of Brad Wade into his outside. The salesman in the 20, Blake Chapman. Inside of row number 3, the 56, Randy Shreves into his outside in the 75, the mayor, Steve Bixler. Gavin Chatham rolls off on the inside of row number 4, and to his outside, the general, Andy Patton. The Brewerton Beast lines up on the inside of row number 5, and to his outside, we've got Superman Kurt Schatzer. My teammate at Gambler Motorsports in the double nickel, Steven Spees, rolls off on the inside of row number 6, and his outside, Devo Ross. Inside of row number 7, we've got Greg Parmalee into his outside, Bob DeGood. Inside of row number 8 in the 789, Cale Bixler, and to his outside in that 70 machine, Mike Kramer. Rounding out the field all by himself in row number 9. Got the high side banger Patrick Spangler here. As Dean Reynolds giving us a little bit of a show, and oh my gosh, the numbers really don't. Oh, that's killer. Even if I do that, oh no. Gosh darn it. Well, you can't win them all. Sometimes, you actually just can't win any. And that's what we're going to experience here tonight in the feature, unless it magically decides to pop back up here for us. But as we roll through 3 and 4, set to take the green flag as the Steve King Foundation pace truck pulls off. We're set for the Flatline Racing Bodies Hometown Heroes 360s as the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. Brian Moore's ready to play here. 25 laps. Dino gets sideways in 1 and 2. He's got to get on the binders. That opens the door for Brad Wade. Can he make a move here and get on up to P2? Randy Shreves with the slider over Blake Chapman. As the boys battling hard here early at Volusia. My cousin down there in the basement, Blake Chapman, no relation. Love to pretend I'm related to somebody that good as there's contact. Dino shoved into that outside opening, I believe contact with the 814 of Brad Waite, Steven Spees. Not sure what happened to the double nickel there, if he was also involved. It's showing him a lap down from me. Maybe there were 2 wrecks here. Let's see what happened to that 55. So he didn't like something, must have had damage. He did pit early, so that was totally irrelevant. Now let's see what happens with Dino here. I believe he gets contact with that yellow and black an eye here. As we jump up into the Chapman Racing drone camera, Brad sliding up, and it's a case of Dino, maybe saw it late or was committed, didn't want to back out, and the contact hard into that opening, and man, oh man, Dino gonna have to tell you that thing. Got a long night ahead of him. Is Chapman in the back as well? Was Blake involved in this? Why does Blake Chapman go to that? Oh, yeah. It looks like that right rear. I don't know, maybe he just thought he had some damage. I can't really tell anything. It kind of looked like it was sunk down. I don't don't know. From there, it looks like he's going to have to go to the back here as we're back underway at Volusia. Brian Moore Sr. with a great restart. Randy Shreves gets sideways in 1 and 2, and Gavin Chatham trying to run him down there in that 99. So we look up top and watch him fan out Jeff Barker there. He's got Cale Bixler looking under him in that 7-8-9 machine. Cale Bixler started 15th, already up to 9th. He's on the move in that red, white, and black machine. Patrick Spangler, you know him, he started in the back. The high side banger doing what he does best. Banging down that cushion as he heads through 3 and 4. Likes the slider line, though. Goes down to the bottom. Heck, no slider. He just stays down there. I thought he'd float that thing up. The high side banger must like the bottom now, was just experimenting. Now they're trying to get a run under that 7-8-9. He gets a feed. Cale gets a little sideways, tries to get down behind him, and Patrick Spangler has it for now. But Gavin Chatham here, battle on for P2. Can the Dark Knight get around the 56? He's downstairs. We just saw Patrick getting it done down there. Little different competition, though, as we move towards the front. Gavin trying to make it work, but right now just can't get it to pan out. He's really having to fight that thing down there. Side by side at the line, give it to the 56, but how long can Gavin Chatham hold on down here? I mean, he's giving Randy a run for his money and has the advantage here as we enter 3. What's it look like coming off at the line? Give it to the 99, Gavin Chatham with the slight edge. Evo back here trying to plug away. Started 12th up to 6. This is up 6 spots early. Trying to find a way around the general, and he's got the high side banger behind him in that 39. And Superman trying to let that cape flap, but he seems to be struggling a little bit in that 218. Kurt Schatzer definitely not used to her, you know, not as comfortable. Like he normally looks a lot more comfortable in that 218. Steve Bixler here is still holding on to P4. He's starting to get a mirror full of that 87 as the second caution comes out here at Volusia Speedway. Mike Cramner and Dean Reynolds. Take a look what happens here. Mike Cramner floats up, gets into the 814. Nowhere for Dino to go. And wild ride for the 79. Absolutely nowhere Dino could go. Man, that was a tough break. Let's go back and watch it from Dean's in-car here. You see all of a sudden, boom! And then whee! Not a lot of fun, though, for the 79 when you've already used your quick repair up. And, you know, neither of those accidents on Dino here this evening. So, tough break for that 79. He'll try to rebuild and get that thing back up onto the podium here in the 410s. The lights still are on in the Steve King Foundation pace truck, so we won't be going back green this time. As you got to think, Gavin Chatham here trying to come up with a plan here. The race is almost halfway. As we'll have 13 laps left when we take the green flag. Let's see what Brian does. He's going to choose the high side, the 558, so that's going to put Gavin on the bottom here. Well, you know, Brian probably not looking in the mirror, just looking out front like he should. Maybe doesn't realize that the 99 calls that home down there, and we'll have to see what the tack looks like. The 558 driving that thing way up to find some grip. The Steve King Foundation pace truck pulls off. That green flag's high. She's ready to fly. Brian Moore Sr. with a great restart. Moore back underway. 558 straight to that outside. Gavin Chatham straight down to the base. Both lanes open. We're going to see which one prevails here. Who's quicker? Is Patrick Spangler, I believe, involved in a caution? He goes around. We're back under caution for the third time here at Volusia. Just wasn't too sure how this kicked off. I just kind of saw Patrick, that yellow, that highlighter yellow, it stands out. He's on the bottom 3 wide right now. Jeff Barker gets into the inside wall in front of them in that black car, and nowhere for the high side banger to go. He gets into the Brewerton Beast. They make contact on the rear end. He spins around. Blake Chapman, wow, barely sneaks through on that one. Let's go back. Let's find Blake Chapman. Because, boy, was that a close one for the kid. So, of course, doesn't go back far enough. So watch it in real time here. So he's just trying to react. Oh, and man, the kid. Quick hands in that 20, and Blake Chapman moved on through, able to continue the climb here. Remember, pitted early, not too sure what, the car felt like. It didn't look like there was bad damage, but I'm not the one driving it. He obviously didn't like something. He's able to move his way back on up through the field. And you got to think, with the 20 going down pit road already, you would think that he used a quick repair. And, well, if he gets any damage there, that's a good night. Wouldn't have another quick repair left. And that would be all she wrote. Is seeing Dean Reynolds here. He's trying to come back out and just stay on the lead lap, survive the carnage, and maybe pick up laps. Here as we go, he's doing it in the wingless sprint now, as the lights are off in the Steve King Foundation pace truck. Brian Moore Sr. set to bring us to the green flag. He drops the hammer. Can Gavin Chatham find a way around? Randy Shreve with an excellent jump there, all over the tail tank of the 99. Steve Bixler as well with a little hiccup there in 1 and 2 in the general. Tries to look low in 3 and 4. Not able to get it done. Going to fall back in line. Blake Chapman trying to get on the move here under the 789 of Kel Bixler. Completes the pass as he enters 3. And Steven Spees in the double nickel trying to get towed on around as well. He looks to the high side. Blake Chapman dancing with the devil downstairs. Jeff Barker right in front of him. Blake doesn't want to get caught up in another mistake here. We peek back up to the front. Gavin Chatham slowly but surely reeling back in. Brian Moore Sr. And you got to think, when he gets that gap down to about 0.1, 0.15, the move's going to happen. And he goes downstairs here early, trying to flirt with it. It's a good run in the middle of the corner and decent drive off. Right now, that car looks quick on the bottom in 1 and 2. Just can't find a home for that 99 through 3 and 4. That's where Brian Moore Sr. seems to be the better car on the racetrack right now. Around the lap car of the 79. He was hoping for another caution there just to try to stay out, but doing what he can. Does a great job of staying out of the way of the leaders, letting them go by up high. And while Steve Bixler back here in B4 still General Andy Patton. Steve with a great run here in that 75 machine. I think if you told him this morning when he brushed his teeth and was looking in the mirror, he was going to come home with a P4 possibly. He couldn't wait to get to racing tonight as that lead cutting down. Look at the 99. Hail Mary! Slide job, the 55 of Brian Moore Sr. back downstairs. He's going to come back with one of his own here. Slide job through 3 and 4. 2 to go at the line. And here comes the 99, the Dark Knight, out of the shadows. Slide job, Brian Moore Sr. in the wall. Can't look down low. The 99 shuts the door. White flag in the air. One more trip around in Volusia. The 558 peeked the nose upstairs on entry. He's going to try to diamond off. He's got a big run down the backstretch. Final time through 3 and 4. Gavin goes down, shuts the door. The 99 brings home the checkered flags. Brian Moore Sr. P2. Randy Shreves rounds out the podium. Steve Bixler fourth. The Salesman finds a way to get up back into the top 5. The General, Andy Patton, 6th. Superman, 7th. The Double Nickel, 8th. The High Side Banger, 9th. And the Brewerton Beast rounds out the top 10. But boy, oh boy, let's go back. Let's watch. We're going to go back to the white flag, and I'll give these guys a minute or two to catch their breath. So we're going to go back. We're going to watch this battle here. Let's find Blake. So he's watching Steve and Andy Patton battle. Blake, this is how he gets to P4. Oh, the General shuts the door. He counters down low, going down the backstretch. Full send into 3 and 4. They almost make contact, and he just edges him out. So Kurt Schatzer and Steven Spies. That was another close one. You know, man, these guys never disappoint. Put on a great finish once again. And well, we're going to go down and we're going to see if we can't find Randy Shreves here. Let's get our cameras up and rolling. Let's get the proper screen for Shaggy over here. Let's unmute myself. And now we're going to bring up the man in that 56. And Randy, I swear, every time I pull you up out mid-conversation, I have the worst timing. I'm so sorry. I'm terrible. Every time, man. I swear, it's you and Patrick. You guys are always talking whenever I pull you up, and now you're gonna forget your thoughts. So for that, I apologize. But Randy, you kind of seemed like tonight you had a quick car there in the middle stages, but at the end, maybe couldn't find the right line to go up there and get by those guys. But you could definitely hang with them. They weren't pulling away. It was just tough to get around. It seemed like.
Yeah, it was definitely tough. I got into that early incident there. I don't remember who with, but I took on a little damage. It said that I had some front end damage, so I was racing like that the whole time. I didn't want to, give away the track position, so I just tried to keep up as much as I could, and just happy to pull it home in third.
No, and with that, I can tell you truthfully that you did make the right move, because I don't know if you noticed. Blake Chapman, similar thing. You guys got damage in that incident. He decided to pit. You didn't. And he barely, he got into 5th that last lap. But it seemed like even with the damage, Randy, you're able to comfortably wheel these things. And is that just because, not to blow up your head here, but, the sprint cars, man, you're pretty good at these things. It just, no matter what, you know how to wheel these things around.
Yeah, I definitely love driving these things, man. It's just whenever you get damaged like that, you totally gotta figure out the car again, and just figure out what it's gonna do, and just keep working on the handling of your car, like just trying to figure it out.
Well, man, you did an excellent job in that, and I think you're going to be a factor here when we pull these 410s out of the garage. So I look forward to talking to you again here tonight, Randy. But before I kick you out of here, man, who'd you like to thank? You got some nice sponsors on that thing.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely want to thank Coast to Coast, man, for putting on this awesome league. You, Shaggy, for the broadcast. KSB Builders, Dylan Shreves Designs. And I want to thank everybody for Flatline Racing Bodies. Can't forget those guys. And I want to thank everybody for watching.
Well, hey, Randy, great run tonight, man. Able to bring home that damaged horse and still finish on the podium. Congratulations. And like I say, hopefully I'm talking to you after the 410s, brother.
Hopefully. Thank you, Zach.
That's Randy Shreves bringing home P3. And now we're going to bring up the man who...
All right.
Oh, Brian, it seems like this is the second or third time this has happened to you this season. But at the end of the day, man, you got to turn that frown upside down. You're points racing, and to come home with another P2, Brian, that is what this is about, man. Those constant podiums, that's what bring home the hardware.
Yeah, but man, I was really wanting that win. I've kind of felt like I need to win maybe this one or the next one in order to have a shot at Blake, but he's got so many wins. I don't think I've got a shot at him.
Well, but, Blake, he had 2 drop weeks already accounted for, and he did have an incident tonight. He was able to get back up to 5th, but that incident point and stuff like that, we know how important that is, Brian, and man, that
it
could end up
is.
being a big deal.
Great. Well, not great for him, but yeah, on that point deal, I'd really kind of gave up on that already because he's by the time you start dropping them weeks, it changes everything. But yeah, I'm still kind of kicking myself in the butt for letting him get by me there.
Yeah, you know what?
But that was fun. I mean, there wasn't. I thought I heard somebody get on the inside of me there, and I thought, man, I need to change my line. So I started running a slider line, and I think I kept doing it too many times, and I should have just stuck to the top. What was working for me, and it was still there. I wasn't having a problem with running the top. It's just like I said, I heard somebody inside of me, and I thought I saw somebody, so I was thinking I had to change my line.
No, yeah,
And
and
I think that's what bit me. It let him get his momentum going, and then he got around me. So
yeah,
hats off to him. He run me good and hard, so that was cool. It
no,
was fun.
I mean 100%, and it's exactly like you said. I mean, we just kind of saw that. It was when you kind of adjusted there and ran that middle entry in 1 and 2. It just seemed like you had no drive off, and that's when he really got you. But at the end of the day, Brian, like I said, man, racking up these podiums, that's what this is all about. So you can't sleep on yourself just yet. Anything can happen, man. And
All right, sweet.
if
Sweet.
Mr. Wednesday Night keeps finishing in the top 3, we could be talking to you at the end of the year. But congratulations, Brian. Good run, man. Who you want to thank?
Just Flatline Racing Bodies and you guys for putting this stuff on and all the work you guys put into it, and Coast to Coast, Roger, and my brother Rick and Rona. I know they're watching, and Jairus. I think he's tuning in tonight. He's been kind of keeping an eye on it, and I think Junior's going to make it for the 410s. So we'll see how we can do.
Well, hey, good luck, man. And if Junior makes it, wish him the best of luck from me too as well, Brian. I'll be rooting for you guys
thanks.
here in the 410s, and hopefully
I got to
to
give
again later.
all the guys in Discord, my Discord channel. I got to give them a shout out too, because they help me as much as anybody does. So
yeah, 100%.
Greg and Devo, man, them guys are fun to race with. So
and they're fast too. But congratulations, Brian, and like I say, man, good luck here in the 410s, brother.
All right, thank you, Marty.
And now we bring up the man here who bringing home the checkers tonight, Gavin. I mean, you basically you do it every week, man, and you're almost like a computer program that it's perfect. I can say what needs to happen when you get to what certain gap you're going to throw a slider, and boy, man, you do it every time. You got into that 1/10 of a second gap and you slung it in there. I mean, how's it feel to bring home the checkered flag, brother?
It always feels good to be in victory lane for sure. We had a lot of speed tonight, and car felt really good. Delusion, I'm always middle of the road with it. I always say I hate it, then I do good at it, and I like it. So, but it's definitely a tricky track for sure. But yeah, no, always feels good to be in victory lane, and definitely having a great battle there with Randy. He was on the top, I was on the bottom, just battling away, and got lucky and got by him. And then I think we had a caution come out, which set me up pretty good. And then another nice battle with Brian there for the win.
Now, roll me through here, because I think most of the time, all right, if I'm the leader, I think whenever I'm in the car, leaders normally choose the bottom here, don't they? Because you can get that tack patch coming out of 4 if you do that late restart. Were you surprised when he took the high side and gave you the bottom there in the double file restart?
Yeah, I was really surprised. Actually, that's kind of what I was surprised, and I was kind of excited for it. I thought we'd have a good run. We just passed Randy on the bottom there, so I felt like the car was going to be really good on the bottom and have a lot of bite. And it was weird. It seemed like the track had started to change at that point, and then the bottom kind of really went away. So I wasn't able to make as much speed down there as I was going to. But I was definitely surprised by that. But it also didn't really. It worked out for him. He hit the restart right and got a good jump. So it ultimately it was the right call. But yeah, I was definitely surprised by that. But it just didn't work out for us.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, that's what kind of shocked me. I mean, obviously he's probably not staring up in that mirror, but how hard you were working downstairs to be able to get by Randy Shrees. just seemed like, if you could get up to P2, it was only a matter of time. Now, Gavin, it did take a little longer than I thought it was going to take. But is that kind of, you just being patient, knowing you don't have to make the move early? Or is that, truly he had a good car for a while and you had to try to run him down?
Take nothing away from Brian. He definitely has speed, and he had speed tonight for sure. But yeah, all part of it too is just being patient. Don't overdrive the car. Pick and choose your battles. You can overextend it, or I can try to throw a slider there a little early, and it kills our momentum. We won't clear them, and then I don't get another shot at them. So definitely had to plan it out a little bit and think ahead. Okay, and if we get close enough to try something. And we did. We were able to get a run, and me and Brian were talking about it a little bit, and he switched up his line a little bit, and I switched mine up a little bit. And he was good for about 2 laps there, and then it kind of started slowing down. He started coming back to me, and I about hopped the dang thing over in 3 and 4, so that killed my momentum as well, one of those laps. But yeah, no, take nothing away from Brian. He definitely ran a heck of a race, and definitely had speed tonight.
And just a little side thing here, we're watching on the replay. Did you take any shots at your FTM teammate when you're lapping him without a wing on it?
Oh, Dean, no, you got to let the old man go. He definitely got some battle wounds tonight for sure, and no, I just let him go on that one. He was doing his thing there, going USAC racing, and which in case he didn't, I guess you didn't realize that it was a wing race tonight.
Yeah, he definitely had a tough night. Got beat up a lot in that poor 79, but I look for him to be strong in this 410 as well as you, Gavin. Congratulations on the big win, man. Taking home the checkers here in the 360s. Who you want to thank, brother?
I just want to thank you, Shaggy, for doing an awesome job with the broadcast. I want to thank Coast2Coast Racing, all the sponsors, Flatline Racing Bodies sponsors this Wednesday, our Hometown Heroes, I think, for a while now. So thanks for the sponsors. Everybody behind the scenes that helps put the league on and allows us to come out here and race and have a good time. And I just want to thank Chatham Motorsports, Mike Schick Motorsports Design, Velocity Race Design, Northeast Outlaw Motorsports, Miller Time Motorsports, and then FTM. Thank Full Throttle Motorsports. Thank you, all the sponsors and all my teammates and the support. Just want to thank the fans for coming out watching these races and supporting this series and supporting this league, and hopefully we put on a good show for you all tonight. And as always, and I just want to thank my fans as well for coming out watching the races and supporting.
Well, hey, great run, Gavin, man. You turned the wick up at the end, gave us a great finish, and I look forward to more in the 410s here, brother. Good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And that's going to do it here for part 1 of Flatline Racing Body's Hometown Heroes. We're going to load up into the other session quick. We'll be right back with part 2. We'll get the 410s out of the garage, and, man, we'll let the big boys go eat here at Volusia Speedway. So stick around. We'll be right back on the Coast2Coast Racing Network.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a
bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Right when we were talking about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
We are back live on the Coast2Coast Racing Network here. I'm Zach Chapman with Shaggy TV, ready to bring you part 2 of Flatline Racing Body's Hometown Heroes. The 410 portion here is your current point leader, Brian Morse Sr. Only a 16-point lead over Blake Chapman, and not sure if drop weeks have been counted into that or not, but man, if they haven't, Blake Chapman, he's going to run away with this one because he's run 2 less races. And like I say, only a 16-point gap. Blake Chapman really been on the mark here. Has run 8, has won 4, 7 top 5. So Keep an eye on the salesman tonight. I'm sure he's going to be talking about some popcorn before the night's over. As we get ready to roll into qualifying here, we'll see who pulls out on the track first. Close battle between Bob DeGood and Ishman, but I think Dino's a little bit ahead as he rolls through 3 and 4. Lap 1 underway. These things have a lot more power though. Track isn't as worn out, shorter way around. If you can get that thing to grip up, you want to get it as close to that inside as you can. Dean Reynolds currently quick time. Run low in 3 and 4. Maybe would like to get a little bit lower, but let's see what the time looks like for Dino. He's going to stay P2 as Brian Moore Sr. Can he improve? Oh, Steven Spees. He was purple through Sector 1, but slow through Sector 2. I mean, not often that you see a purple time with a driver, and then he qualifies dead last. Odd for that as we watch Gavin Chatham roll around here. Blake Chapman, quick time in the 20 machine, and as Gavin Chatham rolls across, he's not going to improve. He had gotten in the wall. He was driving slow. He's going to stay P5, so the salesman, Blake Chapman, going to bring home quick time unless Brandon Gutton in the 67, he's not qualified yet, has not put in a time, so he's coming and steal the show, but he's running out of time here. I imagine he's going to get ready to advance here as the 2 minutes of qualifying will run out here, and we're about to see the flag man pull that flag out, start waving it. No, we're not. It's just going to transfer over. They don't wave it at the end of qualifying anymore, I guess. And I just noticed the numbers popped up for qualifying. Why are they popping up for qualifying and warm-ups? Not heat races. I'm going to have to try to do some digging on the SDK forums here as we get ready for the starting grid of heat race number 1. Starting on the pole, Bob DeGood, and to his outside, the Dark Knight, Gavin Chatham. Dean Reynolds to the inside of row number 2, and to his outside, the salesman, Blake Chapman. The general, Andy Patton, starts off on the inside of row number 3, and rounding out the field in that double nickel, the detective, Steven Spees. Would be cool if Steven was a detective with the last name that obviously looks like Spies. He'll tell us it's not pronounced that way. He says it's pronounced Spees. We can agree to differ. I mean, who's to argue that he would know the pronunciation of his last name better than you or I? But as the green flag is high, it's ready to fly. Heat race number 1 underway. Gavin Chatham drops the hammer on the high side. Bob DeGood may be caught sleeping a little bit in that 70. Slides up. Blake Chapman has to crack the throttle. Dino loses grip coming off the corner. He drops back down to P4. Blake and Dino swapping spots here early. Gavin and Bob as well as Blake and Bob make a little contact. Bob hard into the outside wall. Not sure if the double nickel was collected. He looks clean, but Bob DeGood, man, he's going to have to come from the back in tonight's features. Looking up front, the 99 of Gavin Chatham, almost up to a second lead here. Can Blake Chapman start cutting into that thing as we're halfway? Steven Spees and Dean Reynolds battling hard. Dino trying to make it work downstairs. He falls back in line through 3 and 4. Couldn't make it work. Goes up a half a lane here in 1 and 2. Wants to see if he can find a good run off. Maybe just too far away around right now. Not really getting that drive as the white flag out. Final trip around for the 99. As he sends it off into 3 and 4. He sees the flag man getting fidgety. Checkered flag waves. He takes home heat race number 1, followed by Blake Chapman, Steven Spees, Dean Reynolds, Andy Patton, and Bob DeGood. As we get ready for heat race number 2, there's your starting grid. Starting on the pole in the 75, we've got the mare, Steve Bixler. Into his outside in the 56, Randy Shreves. Brad Waite in the 814 to the inside of row number 2. Into his outside in the 558, Brian Moore Sr. The Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker to the inside of row 3. And not sure if Brandon's going to make the call here or not, but Brandon Gutton to his outside in the 67, if he does make the call. Doesn't look like he is. Pace car is rolling, and it's going to be a 5-car heat race number 2. As we try to refresh the overlay here, and of course, well, it's not going to come back. And now, mid-heat race number 2, we're going to try to bring this up as quick as we can here. Sorry about the technical difficulties. But it's the Steve King pace truck, pulls off. The grid's back. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. The mare brings us to heat race number 2. Able to slide up in front of the 56. He's got to check out of the throttle here. He's going to have to try to get momentum back to be able to come back. But looky upstairs here. Here comes the 558 Brian Moore Sr. with a big boy run. Not enough, though, to get the job done. Is top 5 here. Every driver single file in heat race number 2. You can see them all here. Brian Moore Sr., the first person to make a move. Trying to look low. Able to get the pass done for now. Randy Shreves, able to hold him off for now, but Randy Shreves coming back. Brian, experimented with that low line. Now that maybe broke up the momentum for Brad Waite. Now the Brewerton Beast, he's searching. Can Jeff Barker get around? With 2 laps to go, he does complete the move. And Jeff Barker maybe looking for a little bit more as that white flag flies. One more trip around for the mare. Steve Bixler, he brings this home. He starts on the front row for tonight's feature. Can he hold on? Final time through 3 and 4. The 75 brings home the checkered flag, followed by Brian Moore Sr., Randy Shreves, Brad Waite, Jeff Barker. And well, Brandon Gutton never made the call. We'll have to see if he shows up for tonight's feature event. But with that, we're going to take a real quick break here on the Coast2Coast Racing Network, and we'll be right back with your Flatline Racing Bodies 410 feature. Stick around. We're back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. 30 seconds left here in warm-ups in the Dark Knight. Currently at the top of the charts here in the 99. Randy Shreves P2. And Blake Chapman rounds out the top 3. Excuse me there, I had the hiccups. I tried to mute it, not sure if you caught that. And I'm good at getting the hiccups here. We're going to have a good race tonight in the 410s. I'm kind of surprised we didn't see Patrick Spangler in the 39. He's one I didn't catch that wasn't here for these races. May have gotten a little busy in that 39 machine. Didn't have the best run there in the 360, so sure it's easier for him to just take the night off if he's able to, and it's exactly what that 39 is going to do here as we get ready to look at the starting grid for tonight's Flatline Racing Bodies Hometown Heroes 410s. Starting on the pole, Gavin Chatham in the 99, and it is outside the mayor, Steve Bixler. The salesman, Blake Chapman, to the inside of row 2, and to his outside, Brian Moore Sr. The double nickel of Steven Spees to the inside of row 3, and to his outside in the 56, Randy Shreves. Dean Reynolds to the inside of row number 4, and to his outside, Brad Wade. Inside of row number 5, the General, Andy Patton, and to his outside, the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. Rounding out the field in row number 6. To the inside, the 7 of Bob DeGood, and well, we haven't seen him all night. I don't see him making the call here, but if he shows up, the 67 of Brandon Gutton. As we get ready to take the green flag here, let us know who you're rooting for. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't miss a show. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night, too, for Thursday Night Thunder, and also next Monday, Autism Awareness Night for the Coast to Coast Racing League. So, a lot of stuff going on here in the upcoming days. Make sure you tune in, check it out. Steve King Foundation pace truck will roll around one more time, and these drivers get a little bit more heat inside of those 410 motors, and they'll get ready to go play in the clay at Volusia Speedway. We'll have 25 laps to get it done, only 11 guys, so no matter where you start, it's not as easy in the back, but you can get it done. We don't have a 100% full field, so no matter what happens, you got to keep that head up, and you got to be ready to drop the hammer and go at it here as they roll through 3 and 4. The Steve King Foundation pace truck will pull off as we see the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. 25 laps to play at Volusia Speedway, and we're underway. Gavin Chatham immediately takes over the lead. Blake Chapman follows him on the bottom, and the mare sticks his nose up there and stays in P3. Started second, but I'm sure he has no problem surrendering P2 here to Blake. Can maybe learn something here in the early stages, trying to follow him around as the double nickel in the 79 battle hard. Brian Moore Sr. trying to find a way around the mare, and in doing so, maybe has a little bit of a hiccup. Randy Shreves gets by 1. Can he get by 2? The 56 put the work boots on here, and big time move for Randy. Here the 56 comes, but Steven Bixler says, hey, not so fast. I want some more of this. He drives it in deep into 3 and 4 there, side by side. Randy Shreves at the line. Steven, though, now he loosens that thing up. He's got to float up and follow it. Got to regroup and try to go back at it as Brian Moore Sr. looking to get around the 75 of Steve Bixler. He has a little bit of a hiccup. Now the 79 all over the 558. Can Dean Reynolds find a way around? Oh, up in the wall. That's the General Andy Patton, and we're under caution at Volusia Speedway. So he gets him to the wall coming out of 1 and 2, breaks the right front. Possibly the left front as well, too. It did. Broke both of them after he bounced off the inside wall, so he literally couldn't turn. He's just trying to stay out of the way. Tough break there for the General in the 87. Gavin Chatham here going for the double tonight. Made it a lot easier on himself. Got P1 here right off the jump. And now he's got to play defense. He's got 2 of the fastest guys behind him in the 410s. Blake Chapman and Randy Shreves in the 56. This is a tall task here for anyone. So you got to be wondering what's going through the head of the 99 here, you know. I mean, obviously, he's very experienced. He's very good. So it's not like he's doubting himself. But sometimes, you know, those thoughts can just creep in on you. And you don't need them there. You just need to focus on the race and what's ahead of you. Sometimes that can get you into a lot of trouble. Drivers like Blake Chapman, Randy Shreves, you know, Steve Bixler. I mean, Primore Sr., he's the point leader. Not by a lot, but he is the point leader. I mean, you can't count these guys out. One mistake here for Gavin, he could lose 3 or 4 spots. So, got to be on his A game, especially here on this restart, as he chooses the bottom. As we roll down there, the backstretch, the final time. The lights are off on the Steve King Foundation pace truck. He's going to pull in the pit road here as we go off of 4. And Gavin Chatham is going to drop that hammer anytime he so chooses right now. The green flag is high. She's ready to fly. Great restart from Gavin Chatham on the bottom. Oh, we got a wild ride here in the back, and I believe it's the mare. It is Steve Bixler on his lid here. Let's see what happened to the mare. Can always get dangerous on these restarts. And Steve Bixler, oh, Randy Shreves pulls a wheel. He's got to back out. And, man, they just freight trained. There was nowhere for him to go. And he gets barreled into from behind. You can see, now watch slow the blue car there at the bottom. Bicycles up, cracks the throttle, bicycles up again, so he's got to crack the throttle again, and Steve Bixler with nowhere to go runs into the back of him. Dean Reynolds involved in another one. Hopefully everything's all right on that 79. He has had a tough night here at Volusia, but man, the mare, Steve Bixler having to tow, and 75. His night might be over early. As we roll through 3 and 4, I do believe the Steve King Foundation pace truck will click its lights off as we cross the start-finish line this time. And Randy Shreves, he had went to the back, so he must have hit. Got some damage somehow in that 56. He wanted to drop to the back. Figures in a smaller field now, you know, is maybe worth the risk. In the 360s, he stayed out there with damage and was able to hold on to the podium. But smaller field, a lot more power in these 410s. So play the gamble here. Steve King Foundation pace truck drops in. Gavin Chatham will drop the hammer, and the Dark Knight brings us back to the green flag of Volusia. 17 laps to go. Blake Chapman with a pretty good restart there. Didn't let Gavin get too far away. Now he's got to see if he can stick with the 99 here. And even reel him in a little bit and think about making a move. It's not going to be easy. Gavin's going to make it as hard as he can here for the win. Chapman slowly ticking that gap down. He's got it back down to 3/10, but Gavin pulls him coming off a 4. Rotating back and forth here. Blake goes to the extreme top shoulder. Loses 2/10 of a second. Not going to like that. Goes down a groove in 3 and 4. Gets half a tenth back, but the 99 seems to be the quick car here. And no matter where the 55 goes, the 79 goes to. These guys have been battling in the heat earlier in the feature. And here they are again, side by side at Volusia. Steven Spees with the slight edge now. 3 wide behind him there for a second. Brad Wade in the middle. Who is that on the bottom? Jeff Barker down there in the basement. Look at him trying to go 2 for 1. Not able to get Dino, but whoa, they almost touch as they enter 1. Dino floats up high. Jeff loves that bottom. He feasts down there. Able to get the pass on Dino, but for how long? Dino coming storming back on the top out of 4. As we look up front, Gavin Chatham extends the lead to about a half a second, and Blake Chapman trying to pull into the goodie bag here and see what he can find, but right now none of it, anything he's finding is resulting grip. And Gavin Chatham, tick, 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 watching the sand run out of the hourglass. 9 laps to go. Still battling back here, Jeff Barker. Who is he under? That's the 80s. That's the general Andy Patton. Andy Patton a lap down, I believe. So just trying to race his way back on the lead lap. That's going to be tough here for the 87 to do. It's Brian Moore Sr. Doesn't need to look in that mirror. There's a huge gap behind. He just needs to focus on what's in front of him and see if he can run down the kid. Trying to sell some popcorn here as we got 6 laps to go. The Dark Knight's got the lead up to a second here as he closes in on lap traffic into 7 of Bob. This is where you just want Bob to hold his line. That's exactly what he does. Gavin's got to go around, and he does a great job in doing so. And with 5 laps to go, lead looking at a second. You got to think he needs a caution, or Blake needs a caution flag, or a big mistake out of that 99 as he looks low on the 7 and tries to put Bob in between him and the 558 of Brian Moore. Brian's going to have a lot easier of a time here as the 7 got loose. He's able to slide up in front. 3 laps to go. The double nickel all by himself in 4th. Randy Shrees hanging out back inside that top 5. He needs a caution. He had went in for a quick repair, but just not able to get it done and get back into the top 3 as 2 laps to go. Gavin Chatham, man, oh man, he checked out, got to the lead lap 1, made it look easy and just hasn't looked back. White flag in the air, 1 more trip around. He won the 360s. Now he's gonna win the 410s. Pulls off the double at Volusia Speedway. Checkered flag in the air. The 99 brings it home. Blake Chapman P2, Brian Moore Sr. 3rd, Steven Spees 4th, and Randy Shrees rounds out the top 5. Jeff Barker 6th, Dean Reynolds 7th, Brad Wade 8th, 9th Bob DeGood, and rounding out the top 10, the General Andy Patton. Steve Bixler 11th, and Brandon never made a lap here, but he's going to bring it home P12 as we let these guys catch their breath and try to get a word here with the 558 of Brian Moore Sr. It's kind of spread out there at the end, but, you know, with the more power, you're going to see the skill levels spread apart that much more. And just kind of see, you know, guys at certain, it just magnifies the gap, you know. That's why you get more power as you step up. Just smaller mistakes can lead to a 10th, whereas in a small mistake in a 360, maybe a quarter of a 10th, you know, because you can make up for it with grip down the straightaway. And just kind of the way it plays out sometimes. But Blake maybe wishing this thing was 30 laps here as he was slowly reeling in the 99, but just ran out of time. We're going to bring up the 3rd place finisher here in the 558, Brian Moore Sr. Well, Mr. Wednesday night, back-to-back podiums, man. Got to be feeling good.
Well, that's a lot better than last week. I had a rough week last week. So, yeah, I'll take that third place, get on the podium. That was fun.
Yeah, and, there for the longest time, we saw you hanging with Blake. And, you guys were trying your best to run down that 99, but it just seemed like, man, Gavin, he was in his own area code out there out front. What else could you have done to try to run down that 99?
Other than getting up in the marbles or the fluff and trying to get a bigger run down the straightaways, which is, I think, what he was kind of doing there towards the end. But, Blake, he kept hitting that bottom, man. And once he started hitting that, I thought, well, let's go to the kind of the mini slider line there. And he started pulling me. So I just kind of went back up to the top. But not quite as high as Gavin was there. I mean, he made that work. I don't think I had anything for either one of them.
Yeah, no, is that a kind of a case where, though, because you're not, burning down that top shelf as hard as Gavin is, are you licking your lips there, hoping for a caution with 4 or 5 to go maybe, and thinking, you got a little fresher sneakers than that 99?
Well, not so much that as I tried pushing my wing forward. I popped it back a time or two, and nothing I was doing was helping me at all. So they were just fast as.
Well, sometimes sometimes that's the way it is, Brian. But yeah, even when you're not the quickest car, man, you're still able to plug it away at it, and bring home another podium. Congratulations, my man. Who you want to thank?
Well, thank you for all the work you put into this stuff and broadcast, man. You're getting really good at this announcing stuff, dude. So thank you and Flatline Racing Bodies again, and my brother and Rona and Jarris, and just you guys, man, for hanging out and letting me race with you.
Well, Brian, man, you're one of the cleaner guys we have. You always run hard, man, and no matter what, you try to come out of there with a smile on your face. Love having you up here, Brian, and wish you nothing but best of the luck the rest of the season, my man.
All right, thank you very much.
That's your third place finisher, Brian Moore Sr. in the 558. Now we're going to bring up the salesman here. P2 Blake, it just seemed like, who knows what the 99's doing there at the end. But, man, those last 3 or 4 laps, you were coming. It just seemed like you ran out of time.
Yeah, it felt pretty good there towards the end, running the bottom and then that slider line in 3 and 4. That middle was really where you had to be, and I knew Gavin was going to run there pretty much the whole time, and I was just searching for anything else, hoping a different line would come in, but it was just kind of a little bit of a one groover tonight, and yeah, we caught him there a little bit at the end, but who knows, he might have been just taking it more careful those last couple of laps. I assume that's probably what he was doing, but not too bad of a run for us here. We stayed out of trouble and came home with second place. I'll definitely take it.
No, I mean, definitely, Blake. I'm not on your skill level, but I kind of understand the mentality there. So you get the restart, okay? You realize, you're talking. Gavin's in the fast line. Is that why we go down and explore downstairs? You figure you can't take his line away. You're going to go down there, save your stuff, and God forbid, maybe you get a caution with 5 to go and you got some fresh rubber on that right rear and you can really go to town at him.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, really. When he went to the middle there, it's like, well, I might be able to catch him running the middle, probably keep pace with him for the most part, but I'm not going to be able to get around him running that same line. So I was just kind of hoping to run that bottom and get comfortable with it. And just hoping that middle really went away and that bottom would come in, but that never happened. And I was hoping for a caution there at the end, but didn't get it. Didn't have too many cars out here tonight to make the track really slick and competitive. But hopefully we can get a little bit better of a track next week in terms of car count and how slick the track gets. But we'll just have to wait and find out.
Yeah, I was a little surprised to see this thing drop. We had the 3 heats in the 360s and then to only have 2 in the 410s. Definitely not what you want. You're not going to get near as long of a warm-up session because you guys were just racing. So fresher track with less cars normally means, a little less battling for position out there. But Blake, you're able to bring home the P2. Another podium, man. You got, this is race number 9, and that'll be 8 top 5s for you this season in the 410. So Mr. Consistency getting it done. If you don't win with your 4 wins, You finish in the top 5. Congratulations, kid. Who you want to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank the parents and Mr. Bixler for tuning in tonight. I got to thank all the guys down at KSR, Preston at Epsilon Sprint Wraps, Andy at AJ Custom Creations. Of course, I got to thank Flatline Racing Bodies for the sponsor for Hometown Heroes. And of course, I got to thank Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. Got some of the best popcorn out there. You can head over to their website and don't forget to use code CART, that's C-A-R-T, at checkout for 15% off some of their very delicious popcorn. And I got to thank you for putting this broadcast on, Shaggy.
Well, hey, great run, Blake, and look forward to maybe talking to you tomorrow night, man. I'm filling in for Marty, so good luck, brother.
Thank you.
That's the salesman, Blake Chapman. And now we bring up the man who made this one look easy, Gavin. You had to work in the 360s, but boy, you shot turn 1 and 2. You slid up, and man, the 99 never looked back. This thing was a rocket ship. Talk to us about it.
We got a little bit of luck on that one. I messed up my qualifying lap and tagged the wall, so it didn't count my lap. So we started 5th, which got us the inversion for the pull of the first heat, or our outside pull for the first heat race. So I mean, I was kind of gifted on that one. And then when we're out front, I mean, the car felt really good. That's what I was talking to Blake and Brian about. The track didn't really widen out that much. It didn't change too much. It was just kind of around the middle and the top, and then on that cool down route. But I did run the bottom. It did feel pretty good down there. But we were just making so much speed up there that that I didn't really want to change anything up.
No, and is that kind of a case? Blake and I touched on it a little bit, but smaller car count than we had in the 360s, less track time and warm-ups. You just thinking to yourself, hey, the track probably isn't going to change a lot. And I mean, we did lose 2 guys there in the feature, so that's even less laps on the track.
It definitely plays a factor in it for sure. It definitely plays a factor in it for sure. Just the way the track's going to wear out and everything, and it and of course always how much moisture in it, weather, and all that other stuff plays a factor as well, and what the track does. But yeah, definitely the best way to wear a track in is have cars on it, and we didn't have that tonight. We had a little bit smaller field than we'd like, and we'd obviously like the track to get a little bit more worn in, so get multiple grooves of racing and try to put on a good show.
Now you're all by yourself out front, but for the drivers that tune in here and get to see this, I just want to touch on this, Gavin, because you're used to being out front, and I like Patrick's take on it, and I assume you'll have the same. But you're coming up on a lap car, okay? You're coming up on the 7 of Bob the Good. And he holds his line exactly, how most guys think they should. Now, you have to go to the bottom, but as the leader, don't you prefer, you let that guy run where he's comfortable and you find your way around? Do you agree or do you disagree?
It's just as long as he holds his line. No, as long as the lap cars are holding a line somewhere, so then I can know what I need to do and then kind of prep for it. It's always unfortunate, and it does happen. But when a lap car decides to change their mind at the last second, maybe they're running the bottom the whole time, you get up to them and they decide to jump to the top. It really kind of throws you off, which actually hurts you more. Even if the fast line's the top, if they're holding the top, I'd rather them just stay up there and I can do what I need to do on the bottom. But as long as they're holding their line, and whichever line they do when you approach them, that's obviously the most preferred method. I really, if obviously out of the groove was the best way, but not always the easiest way. Just holding your line's the best option though.
No, yeah, especially, and well, I mean, Bob's a little more comfortable, but you can come across some people, they jump out of that groove, man, and boy, it's a handful. They haven't done it all race, so a lot of problems can happen that way. But Gavin, you survive everything, man. Lead from flag to flag. Pull off the double tonight in the 99. Congratulations. Who you want to thank, brother?
I just want to thank you, Shaggy, for doing an awesome job with the broadcast. I want to thank Coast2Coast Racing, all the sponsors, Flatline Racing Bodies, always Wednesday night here at Hometown Heroes, sponsoring this division, sponsoring Wednesday nights, I should say. All the admin, everybody behind the scenes for Coast2Coast to help put these races on in this league on, allow us come out here and go racing. I just want to thank Chatham Motorsports, Mike Schick Motorsports Design, Velocity Race Design, Northeast Outlaw Motorsports, Miller Time Motorsports, and Full Throttle FTM Full Throttle Motorsports. Thank you all the sponsors and all the team and all the help and support we get. Just want to thank the fans for coming out watching these races. I hope we put on a good show for you all tonight. And I just want to thank my fans as well for coming out and supporting and watching the races.
Well, man, Full Throttle Motorsports, they got to be happy to have that 99 on board. You pull off the double here within a week of being a member. So congratulations, Gavin, setting your mark here once again. And, well, we wish that 99 luck the rest of the week here.
Sounds good, guys. See you tomorrow night for the modifieds.
Sounds good, brother. That's Gavin Chatham in the 99, bringing home both features here for Flatline Racing Body's hometown heroes. And, man, you put that 99 in a sprint car, he does not disappoint. Able to bring home another one. But on behalf of everyone at the Coast to Coast Racing League, all the admins, on behalf of Bill Calder, Roger Craig, I mean, they're the two main dogs behind the scenes. And, well, I mean, of course, got to shout out the High Side Banger. Does so much. And, well, while we're still throwing names, throw them all out here. Jeff Barker. I can't think of many other ones. I know Preston Cram there. He's not around too much anymore, but he helped this thing all kick off. So if this ever gets to him, we definitely appreciate everything you always did for us, Preston. But like I say, on behalf of everyone at the Coast to Coast Racing League, I'm Zach Chapman with Shaggy TV signing off. Tune in tomorrow at around 7 Eastern, and we'll be live with the small blocks and the big blocks for Thursday Night Thunder at Bristol Motor Speedway. Tune in. Don't miss the show. I'm Zach Chapman signing off.